Ever wonder how we got to this? It wasn't always like this. We weren't always glued to our phones. This is the context, and today we're going to talk about how the like button killed privacy. Nowadays, it's considered weird if someone's not on social media, which is strange because back in the 90s, you had groups of people called Neo-Luddites who were refusing to join this new and interconnected world.
Come play with us, Daddy.
And while it seems that those voices have all but disappeared, as we understand that the internet and its extensive use might not be actually good for us.
I'm Zoe LaVerne and I am literally the star of TikTok. And TikTok is putting me down and boosting her up, and I'm about to go to TikTok headquarters and strangle their necks.
With extensive online presence linked to higher levels of depression, now we hear kind of buzzwords such as digital veganism, digital minimalism, or even the low-tech movement that tries to kind of disconnect from all of this.
Hey, disconnected!
And it seems that these changes have happened not just in 30 years, but maybe even shorter, in less than a decade. And they say that it's human behavior that has changed. But in fact, it's not human behavior. It's the way that the internet is designed has changed. In short, what has happened is that we went from an internet that was designed to be used on desktop devices, where the user's time was finite, to a world where the internet is always on us and our time is seemingly infinite. To understand the proper context of the like button and what gives it its power, we need to take a short trip back on memory lane to when Steve Jobs introduced the first iPhone. To understand what makes the like button so powerful, first we have to get a bit philosophical. There's a concept called mimesis, which is the Greek word for imitation. And we know that human beings are highly prone to imitating one another. The concept of imitation has made its way into software design somewhere in the late 2000s. The old school way of designing software came with tutorials and manuals, but somewhere around companies realized that it's easier to onboard users if you let them see how other people are using their platform. But the concept of mimesis goes a bit deeper as well. According to René Girard, human desire is also mimetic, meaning that no desire or want truly comes from the inside. We want what other people want.
Don't care how I want it now.
Advertising people already know this. The entire point of advertising is to put attractive people with stuff that they want to sell you in front of a camera, and then they can play under your subconscious want of trying to imitate these people by buying the stuff that they're advertising. The like button basically took this phenomenon on a mass scale and added jet fuel to it. The like button allows anyone and everyone to telegraph to everyone else what they want and what they like. So no wonder influencer marketing became such a booming thing. Moreover, the apps keep you hooked. All the notifications that you have are based on whether other people like you or not. These are called artificial dopamine hits, or as other people call it, digital crack. The situation is so bad that apparently an adult human being gets on average above 65 to 80 notifications a day, keeping us all hooked. Furthermore, there's a psychological effect called fear of missing out. We are constantly on our phones because we are afraid that we're going to miss something from our feeds. Whether or not that is true, we don't really know, but studies do show that if you take a break from social media, you get better.
I can't take it anymore.
When it comes to social media, the name of the game was called the so-called network effect. The idea here is that you grow more powerful as more people are added to the network exponentially, because they also add their own friends, acquaintances, and family members. But now we're at the stage what you could call the ultimate network effect. We've reached that stage where if you're not on social media, it's as if simply you don't even exist. As we saw, there are many kind of innovations that preceded all of this, but it took us the smartphone and cheap internet connections until all of these different designs came into fruition to the extent that we feel kind of trapped. And in the same vein, our notion of privacy completely dissolved, because not only techniques lifted from the casino industry, online advertising, or video gaming, there was also one uncanny predecessor to all of this. In the early 90s and 2000s, there was a children's toy called the Tamagotchi. The Tamagotchi was in children's pockets all the time. It was a digital being that demanded attention. It needed to be fed and played with, otherwise it would die. In the same way, The way we treat our digital alter egos is the same as we treated our Tamagotchis. Now, our digital selves require the same. We need to feed them constantly and capture every waking moment of our lives, continue updating our status and so on, unless they sort of die. Which means that we might fall into irrelevance offline as well. All of this has a second-order effect. The boundary between our online lives and our real selves has all but collapsed. What we say and do online is seeping into the real world. No comment is left without consequences. How we are perceived online really affects how we are perceived offline as well. While this has led to a development where people lead exemplary lives that they're trying to project on the internet, it has also led to the rise of less optimistic phenomena. Take, for example, the worrying trend of fake it till you make it and grifter culture. It's very easy to fake popularity until you actually gain real popularity. Who knows how many fraud is out there just waiting to bust because people still believe in the hype.
Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
The process is also speeding up. A lot of people are doing things in real life only to chase imaginary points on the internet, which can translate into real followers and real money. And then, in turn, people copy stuff that they saw offline into activities offline.
You're copying me!
Yes.
This has reached the point where teachers in the United States have to be proactive on watching out for TikTok trends in case some new and crazy is going on, which makes the kids go batshit in the classroom.
You're with me, and you're making me mad, and I'm gonna send you to the office if you don't shut up!
All of this is to say we are broadcasting so much of ourselves online, be it whatever we like, we want, or we dislike, that the entire concept of privacy has been rendered moot. This is a scary new world, one which we haven't seen yet, so we don't know where it leads yet. But one thing is for sure, I would advise the viewer on being mindful on whether or not you're still using the internet as a toy, or is it trying to make you do something that you wouldn't necessarily want to do.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.